You let them go. Now, become unshakable. You walked away. You let go. You survived the pain of detachment. But now comes the real transformation. In this follow-up to what you call love is actually addiction, we go deeper into the sacred journey of becoming whole. This is where you stop surviving and start reclaiming your soul. Inspired by Carl Jung's powerful philosophy, this video will teach you how to rebuild your identity, master your emotions, and become unshakable. The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. Carl Jung. So, you let them go. You walked away from the obsession, the ache, the addiction masquerading as love. You survived the withdrawal, the silence, the gnawing void. But now what? This is the part they don't tell you about. The after, the blank canvas, the open field, the terrifying freedom that comes when your worth is no longer tangled in someone else's presence. The echo of a world where your soul no longer begs. You're not drowning anymore. But you're not flying yet either. Welcome to the wilderness, between who you were and who you're becoming. This is where the real work begins, not the emotional chaos of detachment, but the sacred discipline of rebuilding, of becoming, of reassembling yourself piece by piece without reaching for familiar poisons. No more survival. Now, it's sovereignty. You don't need to prove your worth through suffering anymore. You don't need to bleed to feel alive. You're not here to earn love through pain. You're here to remember that you are love before anyone ever reflects it back to you. The truth is, you were never addicted to them. You were addicted to who you became in their presence, the approval, the attention, the temporary illusion of wholeness. But now that illusion has crumbled. The mask has fallen. And what's left? You. Just you. And that's either terrifying or it's liberation, depending on how deeply you're ready to meet yourself. This is not about moving on. It's about moving inward, into the stillness, into the truth, into the power you've buried under years of self-abandonment. Because here's the brutal secret. If you don't rebuild yourself after detachment, you'll find another person to attach to and repeat the cycle. Same ache, different face, same hunger, different drug, until you decide that enough is enough. Carl Jung called this individuation, the sacred, often brutal journey of becoming whole on your own terms. No more chasing love to avoid your shadow. No more using others as a mirror for the parts of yourself you refuse to claim. You no longer need a witness to validate your existence. You are the witness now. And this new season demands a new standard. This is where you develop emotional discipline, where your nervous system learns that silence doesn't mean abandonment. That distance doesn't mean danger. That love doesn't mean losing yourself. Now is the time to practice the most sacred act of all, choosing yourself every single day, even when it's quiet, even when no one is clapping, even when your old self begs you to go back. Because the old self is dying, and it should. The self that begged for scraps, the self that confused chaos for chemistry, the self that thought love was pain in disguise. You're not that person anymore. You're not here to be consumed. You're here to be complete. And completeness isn't loud. It's not dramatic. It doesn't chase or cling. It just is. This is what it means to become unshakable, not invulnerable, but whole. Not untouched by emotion, but no longer ruled by it. You will still feel deeply. You will still love fiercely. But your love will no longer be a cry for rescue. It will be a sacred offering from a soul that has nothing to prove and nothing to lose. Because when you're whole, you don't fear loss. You don't negotiate your value. You don't shrink to fit someone's comfort zone. You radiate, you lead, you become a sanctuary, not a seeker. And yes, the loneliness still whispers. But now, it doesn't control you. It becomes your teacher. The silence becomes sacred. The solitude becomes soil. This is where your creativity returns. This is where your purpose stirs. This is where your intuition sharpens, because the noise is finally gone. You're no longer looking outward for meaning, you're building it from within. You don't chase relationships to feel alive. You pour that energy into your art, your mission, your presence. You reclaim everything you once outsourced to someone who couldn't even hold it. Your worth is no longer a debt someone else needs to pay. You are paid in full. And when love comes again, and it will, it won't be to rescue you from yourself. It won't be a fix. It won't be a performance. It will be two sovereign souls choosing, not clinging. Creating, not consuming. Expanding, not escaping. Until then, you are not waiting. You are building. You are sculpting your own soul. Every time you resist the urge to chase, you lay another brick in your foundation. Every time you breathe through the silence without numbing it, you fortify your nervous system. Every time you choose your peace over their attention, you reclaim your power. This is the quiet revolution, the becoming. And there will be moments, there will be moments when the old self returns. The craving, the nostalgia, the fantasy that maybe it wasn't so bad. That's when you pause, breathe, and remind yourself, you're not lonely, you're in labor, you're not breaking down, you're breaking open. This is rebirth, and it will demand everything from you, but it will give you back something sacred, yourself. No more shrinking to be loved, no more performing to be chosen, no more handing your soul to someone who doesn't even know how to hold their own. You are the home you were always looking for, the safety you were starving for, the presence you were praying someone else would give you. It's all been here, waiting, underneath the noise, underneath the need, and now you are finally still enough to hear it. You're not healing to be more lovable. You're healing because you already are. You're not rising to prove your worth. You're rising because your soul remembers who it is, and it's time the world remembered too. Let them go. Let who you used to be die with them. And in the ashes of that old story, write a new one. One where love doesn't come with a leash, where silence isn't punishment, where being alone is not a curse, but a sacred return to your own essence. You are not waiting to be chosen. You have already chosen. You have chosen you. And that changes everything. You let go. You healed. Now you're ready to attract love that doesn't need to be chased, begged for, or survived. This is the third stage of letting go, a journey into emotional alignment, sacred sovereignty, and becoming the kind of person who magnetizes conscious love. Inspired by Carl Jung's timeless insights, this video will show you how to stop chasing and start becoming the space where real love can finally enter.